everyone, Morgan here. So today I want to talk about layering your preparedness. What does this mean? This has so many different aspects to it. So I'm going to try to get through it and talk about layering your preparedness in every aspect of the word. So first of all, let's say you have a bug out bag, right? Well, you don't necessarily want to throw on the bug out bag and leave, right? Your home. Maybe you want to throw that bug out bag into your vehicle. But also what you have in your vehicle, you have a bunch of other stuff, preps in your vehicle. You have food, water, you have first aid, you have tools, you have a bunch of stuff in your vehicle that you can use as well, right? And some people have like a get home bag in their vehicle, or maybe like a little emergency bag or something in their vehicle as well. Okay, so here, now you have a layered preparedness system. You have your vehicle, which is prepped. You have your bug out bag, which is prepped. You have maybe another emergency bag within the vehicle that's prepped. You have these layers, okay? Let's say you jump into your car and you're driving and something goes wrong and, well, now you can't rely on your car anymore. You still got to get to your destination, so you're going to grab that bag, maybe that emergency bag too. Kind of depends on you, right? So you're going to grab them and you're going to go. Right? Now you're going to be on foot. Or maybe you can add an extra layer to that and you could have a bicycle on the back. So now you're bicycling. But then if something goes wrong with the bicycle, then you would be on foot. See what I'm saying? You have layers. You have your vehicle, you have your bicycle, and then you have your bug out bag. You have your feet, right? So these are all layers. And that's the same with like defense. You have layered defense. The first layer is going to be situational awareness, so you can see what's happening, avoid it if you can. The next is going to be trying to get away from that situation. The next could be confrontation, maybe de-escalation, right? So maybe you're suddenly in the middle, you saw it happen, you tried to get away, but now you're in the middle of a confrontation and you're trying to de-escalate. That's another layer, okay? But if finally de-escalation isn't working, then you have to resort to whatever self-defense method that you have. Maybe you want to try a non-lethal first. Maybe you want to try, something else first before you try a lethal option, okay? And then lethal, being like, pulling out your concealed carry gun or something like that would be a last resort. Those are all layers. It's the same with your plans. You have layered plans. Okay, so when you're making emergency plans, you're making them layered. Okay, when we bug out, we are going to go to option A. Well, if option A is not available, we're going to go to option B. If option B is not available, we're going to go to option C. How are we going to get there? Well, there's a bridge here, and if we can't get it over the bridge, we're going to go over here. These are not just options, these are layers. Okay. And then if option C, we have to only stay there a day, then we're going to go to option D, in which we can stay there for a couple of days or whatever the case may be, right? And then there's food layers, okay? So I'll always be a prepper, okay? Even if I can all my own food, right? I will always be a prepper. I want to be a prepper and store food. When times are good, I can go to the grocery store and get, food. It's so easy, convenient. It's fairly inexpensive. A lot of these things, cans, rice, things like that, these are inexpensive items, and I will store that food. And that food will be the food that is immediately used. While in the meantime, I can work on canning, right? I can can my own foods. I can water bath can. I can pressure can. I can work on canning. And I was about to say, I can also work on dehydrating my own foods, right? And even in the meantime of that, I can work on growing my own food in a garden, in containers, in a hydroponic, and indoors using lights. I can grow my own microgreens. I can grow my own sprouts. I can grow my own food in the meantime. And layered food, having a layered food and water is so important, because if you've ever grown things, you know that it can take a while. So having that food readily available to you, that canned food and the rice and all these things readily available to you, you can use up that food while you are growing, or while you are fishing or hunting or searching for wild edibles. you can do all that while you are doing these other things. So you're not having to stress out the fact that, well, I have to go hunt today. No, you have food, you're good. But you also know that, okay, I got to go get some fish today, to supplement my food so that I'm not using my food storage all at once, right? But I'm also growing a garden so that maybe I can can some stuff or dehydrate some stuff or that kind of things to keep my food storage going, right? So these are all layers. You're layering your preparedness. And I want you to think about layers. Physical layers too, okay? Clothing. I want you to think about clothing as a layer, right? Your first line of defense when it comes to elements is going to be the clothes on your back, your hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, all these things. That's your first layer. And then your second layer might be a quick setup with, an emergency tarp that you have. And then your third layer is going to be, building this big, awesome outdoor shelter, right? So it's just one of those things where you have those layers. You're not solely reliant on the clothes on your back or that tarp, but you're reliant on a variety of things. And these are all a variety of gear, skills, knowledge, whatever. It's a layers. And definitely prioritize, too. Like, oh, well, I need to store, 3 weeks of food first before I can even think about this other stuff. Okay. And I always do suggest that people store food just so that you have that food and water and so that you're not stressed doing any of these other things that you're trying to do. You know that you can come back and eat. Okay. That's important. It's good for morale. It's good for your being, right? If you're actually continuing to live another day. But yeah. So layer it, and also layer it with your energy needs as well. Like, we are totally on solar right now, but I want other layers. We have a generator. We can be a generator on for a little while, but that takes gas or propane. So we have solar. We can also have a generator if we have gas, but in that sense, we also need gas, to store gas somehow if we plan on using a generator for any long-term purposes. Or even short-term purposes, heck. We also want those other layers of where we use propane to heat. We also want the other layers in case the propane fails. Okay, so now I have my sleeping bag for heat, that kind of thing, okay? Or maybe I have a wood stove that I'll only use for emergencies, whatever the case may be. So you want those layers. Again, like energy, I want my other layer. Like, we're going to be building a wind generator soon. That's another layer. Thank y'all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.